day is the same. I start issues just to solve them. My life don't ever change, but maybe I'm the problem.
I heard a quote once, and I'm not sure where I heard it, but the person said, humans don't believe what they see what they believe. And that goes along quite well with another quote, and this one's from Seth Godin. He said, people don't believe what you tell them. They rarely believe what you show them. They often believe what their friends tell them, and they always believe what they tell themselves. There's a scripture that runs in the same vein as that. I think it's Matthew 7:7, and it's the one that says, seek and ye shall find. Growing up, I read Matthew 7:7 as a promise that as you seek God, you will find Him. But as I've grown older and gone through what I've gone through, I see it as more than just a divine promise. I see it as pure logic. Because it doesn't take long in this life to realize that you're going to find what you're looking for. So maybe as Jesus was teaching this on the Sermon on the Mount, maybe He meant it as just as much of a warning as He did for guidance. Just something to think about. So the concept that I've been talking about along the seek and ye shall find, it's very closely aligned with, if not synonymous, with the concept of confirmation bias. And confirmation bias is incredibly easy to see in other people, and it's incredibly difficult to see in yourself. We see our friends and family fall into echo chambers online where they're just surrounded by people that agree with them. And they do that because it's reassuring. They're being fed the information that makes them feel good, that reassures their perspective and their view on life. We see our pessimistic friends continue to find negativity in all the aspects of their life. We see our religious friends find God in everything. And we see our outspoken political friends spew closed-minded, one-sided, fear-based misinformation. Okay, running out of time, so we gotta talk and walk here. So let's say something bad happens to a group of people. Each person, same bad thing, but they all have their perspective on it. A religious person may see this bad thing as a punishment for past sins. An optimist may see it as a chance to grow. A pessimist will see it as confirmation that their life is terrible. An atheist may see this bad thing as further proof that God does not exist. Another person may see it as a catalyst for change and turn their life around. And another person may see it as the straw that broke the camel's back and a rock bottom that they can't recover from. So the question at the end of all of that is any one of them right? Is any one of them wrong? Or is it all subjective? Are we all seeing what we believe and not believing what we see? Are we all finding what we're looking for in life? What I'm saying is it's really easy for us to see bias in other people. It's easy for us to look at someone and say, you are seeking for that. The thing that you found, that's what you were looking for. And so it's easy to see that bias in other people, but the challenge is to see it in ourselves. And it's because we all have our own lived experience. And as cliche as it sounds, we all have our own truth, our own reality, our own perspective, our own lens through which we see life. And so I have my truth, you have your truth, and that's just part of reality. And something that challenges that truth, something that challenges your perspective on life can be very scary. It feels like when something challenges your perspective, it feels primal, like that fight or flight or fawn or freeze. Those responses kick in when that perspective is challenged. And so, and I know this better than anyone else, given the religious deconstruction that I've gone through. It felt like I was being attacked. And so I had that primal response of like fight or flight. And a lot of times I feel like asking someone that has a deeply held view, like for example, I feel like if I were to ask someone on the far right on the political spectrum how they could be wrong It would be like asking a fish what it's like to be wet. How can a fish explain wet when it's all that they know? Along the same lines, an animal that is raised in captivity cannot wish to be free if they do not know anything outside of their cage. So when you feel you are right, all you will see are reasons why you're right and why the other person or the other group of people are wrong. It's like we have some sort of built-in mechanism to ignore, to dismiss these things that come up that challenge our perspective, our point of view on life. These sage grouse are everywhere today. I've seen them up here quite a bit, but never I bet I've seen 30 this morning. And they just sit right on the side of the trail until you're right to them. I don't know how they've survived up until this point, because if I was interested in eating one, I would have been able to catch one pretty easily. Anyways, I share this not because I think that you should ever stop seeking. That's the exact opposite of what I think everyone in this life should be doing. In fact, seeking truth and learning is, in my opinion, one of the things that we're here to do. Like, if we have a purpose as a species, as a human, it's to learn and to grow and to seek and to find. But the problem is our bias, is the trope that we will find what we are looking for. So what I believe the challenge is to be conscious of what we are seeking and to understand the biases that we have based on the lived experience that we've had in our life, and understand that our past experiences can dramatically influence what we find when we are seeking. Understanding that can really flip the way that you learn, the way that you seek learning on its head in such a good way. So that's just my thought for today. As usual, if you thought this was interesting or helpful or insightful or thought-provoking, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and more importantly, send this to someone that you'd like to have a conversation with about this stuff, because I hope this is I hope that these videos are a conversation starter more than anything. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.
Sweet mystery, what do you have left to hide? Is something up your sleeve? Keep your secrets, I don't mind. Gonna find my way. Oh, I'm gonna find my